Hi everybody, I'm Jack and this is Raw Tropical Living. Thanks for joining me today. Well, this episode is coming to you from the clouds. It's Friday afternoon here on the mountain in Costa Rica, probably about 3 o'clock. Workers just left and we didn't get any rain today, and I'm not sure if we are going to. This is just kind of those clouds that just drift in, and as you can see, like, I'm socked in here. Oh, this is going to be one of our little weekend videos, going to continue on the mindfulness theme, talking about understanding the truth of impermanence. I do videos every day. Now, these little weekend videos are a little something special with my mindfulness meditation practice. I generally do videos on the raw vegan lifestyle, a plant-based lifestyle in general, a little bit of fitness, and a little bit of my meditation practice thrown in there from time to time. So if you're not already subscribed, I'd appreciate it if you'd go ahead and hit that subscribe button now and click on the little bell and check send notifications so you can stay subscribed to the channel. I don't know if it's just my time winding down here and it actually being a life change, leaving one place, going to another, whatever, or if it's the mindfulness, but a lot of stuff, a lot of processing going on recently, like this mindfulness practice just keeps deepening and deepening, and I use it more and more every day. And like I say, more than anything, it's just really brought a lot of peace to me in my life. Impermanence is one of the truths that people have hard time with sometimes. It's just one of those things. It's not always pleasant. Death. But we're born, we grow, we're nurtured by our mother, we grow bigger, and then we get weaker, and then we die. I mean, the impermanence is a fact. So I'm going to do a little reading today again, and I've read from this book before. This is from Mindfulness, A Practical Guide to Awakening by Joseph Goldstein. I've been enjoying this book. It's a really good one. Now I'm going to read a little bit of a build up to the actual part about mindfulness and about impermanence. Talking about ardency, the long enduring mind. Following the declaration that the 4 ways of establishing mindfulness are the direct path to liberation, the Satipatthana Sutta continues with a concise definition of the path, highlighting its essential characteristics. The Buddha first points out the 4 fields or pastures for establishing mindfulness: body, feelings, mind, and dhammas, categories of experience. Dharma. He wrote this book, like a lot of this stuff is in a language called Pali and in Sanskrit, so that's why some of the terms are a little bit different than what you're normal to, Dharma in Sanskrit. When we establish mindfulness in them or of them, then we abide safely. When we're not mindful, not aware, then we often get lost in unwholesome reactions, creating suffering for ourselves and others. What are the 4? Here, bhikkhus are, in regard to the body of a bhikkhu, abides contemplating the body, ardent, clearly knowing, and mindful, free from desires and discontent in regard to the world. Okay, just kind of building up to the impermanence part. I'm skipping here to some highlighted. Spiritual ardency is the wellspring of a courageous heart. It gives us the strength to continue through all the difficulties of the journey. The question for us is how to practice and cultivate ardency so that it becomes a powerful and onward leading force in our lives. And then we keep going down, reflecting on Dharma. Understanding the mind is the same as understanding the Dharma, and realizing the deepest truths of the mind is the attainment of awakening. And one of these truths is the truth of impermanence. We also strengthen the quality of ardor by reflecting on the transiency of all phenomena. Look at all the things we become attached to, whether they are people or possessions or feelings or conditions of the body. Nothing we have, no one in our lives, no state of mind is exempt from change. Nothing at all can prevent the universal process of birth, growth, decay, and death. When we don't deeply understand the truth of impermanence, we devote ourselves, our lives, and even our meditation practice to seeking and wanting other people, possessions, experiences. We get caught up in all the appearances of samsara, the rounds of birth and death, and solidify our sense of self in the process. There is no peace. This is an excerpt from the life of Shabkar, a book of teachings by the 18th century wandering Tibetan yogi, and is a powerful testament to the truth of change. And like I say, these are texts, you know, this is not like mindfulness practice. You don't have to be Buddhist to practice mindfulness. A lot of the practice is just, it's a very simple practice. So, but this stuff's interesting. All right. Another day, I went for some fresh air to a meadow covered with flowers. While singing and remaining in a state of awareness of the absolute view, I noticed among the profusion of flowers spread out before me one particular flower waving gently on its long stem and giving out a sweet fragrance. As it swayed from side to side, I heard this song in the rustling of its petals. Listen to me, mountain dweller. I don't want to hurt your feelings, but in fact, you even lack awareness of impermanence and death, let alone any realization of emptiness. For those with such awareness, outer phenomena all teach impermanence and death. I, the flower, will now give you, the yogi, a bit of helpful advice on death and impermanence. A flower born in a meadow. I enjoy perfect happiness, with my brightly colored petals in full bloom. Surrounded by an eager cloud of bees, I dance gaily, swaying gently with the wind. When a fine rain falls, my petals warp around me. When the sun shines, I open with a smile. Right now I look well enough, but I won't last long. Not at all. Unwelcome frost will dull the vivid colors, till turning brown I wither. Thinking of this, I am disturbed. Later still, winds, violent and merciless, will tear me apart until I turn to dust. You, hermit, are of the same nature. Surrounded by a host of disciples, you enjoy a fine complexion. Your body of flesh and blood is full of life. When others praise you, you dance with joy. Right now you look well enough, but you won't last long. Not at all. Unhealthy aging will steal away your healthy vigor. Your hair will whiten and your back will grow bent. When touched by the merciless hands of illness and death, you will leave this world for the next life. Since you, mountain roaming hermit, and I, a mountain-born flower, are mountain friends, I have offered you these words of good advice. Then the flower fell silent and remained still. In reply, I sang, O brilliant, exquisite flower, your discourse on impermanence is wonderful indeed. But what shall the two of us do? Is there nothing that can be done? The flower replied, Among all the activities of samsara, there is not one that is lasting. Whatever is born will die. Whatever is joined will come apart. Whatever is gathered will disperse. Whatever is high will fall. Having considered this, I resolved not to be attached to these lush meadows, even now in the full glory of my display, even as my petals unfold in splendor. You too, while strong and fit, should abandon your clinging, seeking the pure field of freedom, the great serenity. That's some good stuff, some powerful stuff right there. And like impermanence, I've done that. Like there's a meditation in that Calm app that I use, and I do that one a fair amount. I do the one on impermanence, and I do the one on letting go a good bit. Impermanence is just what it is. What is it's simple truth, but it is something that our mind kind of fights against. I think I told this in another one, and I think it's actually a little story that's told in the meditation that I do on impermanence. And it's talking about the person, the meditator or the student goes to the Zen master one week and says, Master, you know, this whole week I can't meditate. My meditation is terrible. Every time I sit, my body hurts me, my mind, I can't get my mind still. It's just chaos. The master just simply says, this will pass. A week later, the student returns to meet with his teacher again, and he's like, Master, you were right. My meditation practice is on fire right now. I doubt he said it was on fire, but he said it's working really well. You know, I sit comfortably each day in meditation. My mind is still, my breathing is relaxed. And the teacher said the same thing. This too shall pass. Everything will pass. And it's kind of this thing of, I do another meditation on clinging and aversion, and that is what gives us this, this is what leads to this suffering. When we don't understand this impermanence and we try to hold on to these things, cling to these things, it just sets us up for suffering in the long run. Now, like I say, a lot of this stuff kind of sounds like flowery words that I like to, share on the weekends. But if you really kind of cut through the flowery words and you kind of think on it, meditate on it if you will, you will find that a lot of this stuff is just common practical sense. I wrote something down the other day. Gary Vaynerchuk said it. Like, a lot of times people like to, use words, but we can cut to the chase and call it common sense. I think he said something as simple as karma is practical. Everybody wants to get into this deep stuff on karma, but he starts going, it's like, okay, you do good things. You're good to other people. You put good out there. It's just kind of logical. Now, not always good's going to come back, but chances are if you do this long enough, good's going to come back to you. It's kind of that same way, the karma, the law of attraction. People wanted, what you put out is what you receive. Everybody wanted to make it all mystical with the book and the movie and the different names, but the law of attraction is common sense. It's really common sense, and most of these concepts are common sense. If you look past, like I say, the flowery words, the philosophy, and all that. So yeah, I'm just going to continue on. I think my practice is up to. I only know this. I wouldn't count days if it didn't show it to me on the app. But I think I'm up. I've had a daily practice now for like 130 days, 135 or something like that, and it just feels good every day. It's just regular now. In the past I never. It was always like, time to go meditate now, and you kind of dreaded it, and now it's just a whole different thing. Still working on doing it first thing when I get up. I think maybe I'll give myself. I've gotten a little lazy here with this weather recently. Maybe when I get to the States, I will just hone in on, okay, just get out of bed and go do it. Just go do it. Anything you do for a few days when it's not natural to you, it will become natural if you just keep repeating it. But anyhow, I hope you guys enjoy these little weekend chats on mindfulness. Like I said, I'm going to try to expand this a little bit without doing more videos here, because most people are here, for the food thing and other stuff. So I'm going to try to look for other ways of sharing. I've just, like I say, I've gotten bogged down. I had guests, and then with work on the house, I haven't gotten I have a meditation. The next post on the blog is going to be meditation related, mindfulness related, but I just haven't had a chance to get around to that yet. But anyhow, appreciate you guys joining me on the weekends, and hope you liked it. If you like it, please give me a thumbs up, and I will see you again tomorrow. Peace.